everyone, it's me Emily. I am so excited for today's video because I am going to be trying to turn my house into a cat. Basically, I'm going to be using water terraforming, and when people make those ponds that look like a certain shape, heart pond being the most classic and common one that I see, I'm going to try and do that same type of thing and make a cat outline. And I just thought this would be a good way to incorporate my house into a build as well. I've been wanting to do my house exterior for a while. So I think if we make the cat a round and then my house can sit in the middle of the pond, it will look so cute, and I'm really excited to be doing this video. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is starting straight out with some water terraforming. I'm creating a box around my house to begin with. I just think this will be the easiest way to start creating the shape of a cat. I don't really have much of a guide to work with because it's not something I think people have really done that much before, and everyone also takes water terraforming in quite different ways. But I just figured if I make the outline, this is obviously not going to be a super realistic cat, it just needs to look on my map recognisable as a cat. That was my main goal because I am not good at water terraforming at all. Definitely not my strong suit. So I'm creating the box, and then down here is, I guess, what would be the chin of the cat. I'm really doing the face as well, by the way. And then I'm rounding out these edges to create the rounded face. Then I tried to kind of round off this corner, but it turns out you actually can't round it off that way. So you'll see me just replacing that section of water. And then I just came straight through onto these corner pieces and kind of cut off the edge. And this is what produced the chin of my cat. So I guess the water is what's being the actual outline of the cat. I'm just running to check it on the map, and the reason why you'll see me run away from the house is because when you look on the map, you tend to see the big red dot that shows you where you are, and that can stop me seeing how the actual piece was looking. So I ran away so that I could check it without my location spot kind of hiding the build. I just bought the whole building part back one tile to make it a bit closer to the house. And then right here I am adding in whiskers, just little lines of water. I just thought this was a good way to kind of give that vibe of whiskers without making it too complicated. Little lines. And then the hardest part of this water was probably trying to make the ears. Because ideally cat ears are super pointy, but you can't really make a point or a triangle with the tools because everything is in squares, so it was definitely tricky to work it out how I was going to do it. You'll see I kind of come back and make a little slanted edge like this, trying to give the kind of impression of a triangle. And it's not bad, like I say, it just needs to kind of look enough like a cat. And it looked quite good, but I felt like the ears were a little bit too small, so all I'm doing is doing the same exact thing but just moving it back by one, so that these are slightly longer ears. So on the ends I kept it sharp because it's like the rigid edge of the face, and then coming down I created diagonals to try and create that point of a cat's ear. Like I say, it was a bit tricky, but this is what I ended up settling with, and if I show you on the map, I think it looks quite good. It's definitely what I was going for, so I was really pleased with that. And now we can move on to decorating this little bit of pond that I have. The first thing I tried to do was use pathing to create a mouth for the cat. So I'm kind of coming in like this, and you can see I made a smile, but unfortunately on the other side the post box was getting in the way, so I unfortunately couldn't fully make the smile like how I wanted to, but it's okay. Just cleaning up this pathing really quickly. And even without the curve, it just looks a bit blobby, so unfortunately I just couldn't make a mouth. But that's okay, it's always good to try stuff out because it could have ended up looking really cute. And maybe one of you will have an idea of how I could make a mouth on this build, but for now I just decided to leave it. Grabbed some items and I'm going to start just placing them down. There's no real theme for the inside of this pond because it's not really meant to be a build in the sense of like creating an object. So like how I've done a school, I've done a bakery, I've done a campsite. This is just my house. So I just picked random fun items, normally ones with quite bright colours. Just anything that I liked from my inventory I picked up, and I'm just going to kind of scatter them around. The real highlight of this build is definitely the cat pond. If you guys are interested, I could make a slowed down tutorial, I have a few different things I can make with water. So I've now got a cat. I've tried a bunny before. I know how to make the love hearts. So stuff like that. I could definitely do some slowed down tutorials. But I did try to leave in all the water forming so that if you're interested, you could probably follow along to this video or let me know if you want the slowed down tutorial. But I don't know if anyone's actually going to be interested in making their own cat pond. But I think it looks so cool. I was really pleased with this build. It's probably one of the most complicated things I've tried to create, and especially with the limits of water forming in the game, I'm so happy with how it turned out. Now down here I am just experimenting with some pathing. I used these really bright coloured tiles, but please don't get too attached to them because, spoiler warning, they are definitely going to be removed in a minute or two. But I just placed them down for now, and they did look really nice and colourful. They just, as I began to decorate the rest of my build, I felt the colours didn't really match. If you like any of the codes I use in my builds, I do have a video on my channel called 100 Kidcore Design Codes, and it is every single code that I have saved on this file. So you can watch that to find the codes I use, or just leave me a comment and I will try and find it for you. And then I also have a video of just 50 other Kidcore design codes that I would use if I had more inventory spaces. So you could watch that as well if you just want some inspiration. On top of this mushroom, I am putting the superstar. It's so cute, and I love how when you click on it, it does this really quick twirl. I think it looks awesome. I'm just filling some spaces with random codes. So over here I put the bear, and then just picking out items that I thought I would like to use. So the bunny day topiary I'm so in love with, I think it's so cute. So I just put down a code and then placed the topiary straight on top. It just needed to be pushed back by one, but there we go. I think it's so sweet. Out here I tried placing the block, and then I realised I thought I had got the fire flower, but I had to go and grab it from my house. So once I realised I definitely didn't have it, I will just be grabbing this from my house super quickly. And then I placed it, but I felt like it covered the bench a little bit too much, which I didn't like. So what I actually did was picked up both items, and I'm going to pull the bench down, and then I will move it behind the bench so that you can still see both, because you can see the fire flower where it's raised, whereas you couldn't see the bench at all. Just choosing some different design codes. I really like to place a code under most items I place. I think it just adds some interest to the build, as well as makes everything that little bit more detailed. So there we go, bench and block now switched. I put the train track code down, which I really like. I think it's so cute. And then I tried to place this carrot cake here. I love it. It looks so tasty. And that is the one that Mum sends you in the mail. A little puddle, how cute. And here is where I decided to switch out these codes. I just felt like they were a bit too bright and just weren't really matching with how the build was looking. Instead, I took the terracotta tiling, and I'm going to create a dome. I initially faced it almost away from the house, but I felt like that looked a bit odd, because why would you have it facing away from the house? Surely you'd have it facing towards. So you'll see I'm actually rounding out the other side so that it's facing the right way. And then I just placed sparkles all over it to make it a bit more colourful and kidcore. And under here I just chose some of these tiles to replace as well. I really do wish that I could put one more tile, and actually now I'm in editing, I'm just thinking, I think once you upgrade your house you can move your mailbox, right? So maybe I should just, I don't know how far you need to upgrade your house, but maybe I could have actually moved that. So maybe that's something I'll think about, but I do quite like having the box right outside of your house because it means you can access it more easily. Here I'm using the pop-up book. This is something that you can win in Crazy Red's raffle on Harvey's Island. It's really cute. I normally just use it to hold in my hand, but that's okay. I'm just showing you what the map looks like one more time. I love it. I really hope you guys like it as well because I'm so pleased with how it turned out. And And then up here we have my house, some fun random items all scattered, a bench, a cake, some of the Mario items. I just think it looks so cute. The pop-up book is such a nice detail. And so I really hope you've enjoyed this build. With that, I would just thank you all so much for watching. Please do consider leaving me a like or a comment if you enjoyed, and then subscribe to my channel so that you won't miss any of my future Animal Crossing videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye!